Okay, so the next thing that you'll do when you finish capturing your data in the field is come back to the office, and then you want to download your data from your device. So what you'll do is you'll plug it in using your USB device, your USB cable. Plug it into your computer, make a connection. I'm just going to plug my device in now, and then just make sure it connects. Your connection program should pop up and show you that you are connected. So I'm just going to wait for mine to come up. Now the first time you connect the device to your computer, it will take 1 or 2 minutes to install the drivers to make a connection, and then the next time you use that same port, it will connect quicker. So mine has connected, my connection program popped up, it shows me here that I'm connected, and then I can just minimize this, and then I'm ready to download. So now I can go Pathfinder Office, open that, I click on Utilities, I go to Data Transfer because I want to transfer data. Just wait for it to open here. And there we go, connected, and then I make sure I'm in the Receive tab because I want to receive data. Then I click on Add, and I click Data File. And now it will always highlight the files that you haven't downloaded yet. So you can either leave it like that and just open. If you click on Open now, it will download all 3 of the files, or all 3 of the files. You'll see it in Data Transfer. I'll show you now what it looks like. Then here's the destination. So you'll see the destination at the moment is set on that project folder that we've created in the beginning. So that's why I say by default it will take it to that destination. You'll see there. So that's the folder it created in the beginning when we opened Pathfinder Office. That's why I say you can browse, and you can change it. You can say, no, I want it on a different folder that you want to send the data to. I'm just going to leave it there on that folder that we've created. Then you select the files that you want, and like I said, you can download more than one file. So that file, and that file, I saw it was highlighted in the beginning. I've never downloaded from the device, so I'm going to select all 3 of them. These are for different days that we've done some work on. And this training video, this is a file that we've just used. So all you do is you click on Open, and you'll see there's 3 files there. And then you say Transfer All. And then it will transfer your files. And it will say 3 files successfully transferred, or 1 file, or how many files you've selected to download. Then you can close this, and you can close this data transfer, and now we can go and open our file. So I'm going to go File, Open, and then select the file that I want. There's my file, training video. Now you'll see the extension is .ssf. SSF is your raw data file that you haven't done any corrections to it yet, your post-processing or differential correction as it's called in Pathfinder Office. So that's the raw data file. So we'll open that, and the next step will be to do differential correction. So you can see there's a line that I've taken, and there's an area. Like I told you, it's closed it. But and this is my points. So I've taken, there's my manual. Like I said, if you click on it, you can see it under your feature properties. There's point number 1. Condition is good, comment, manual, and road. There's a date and time, and you can see there's a photo and the destination wherever it's downloaded that photo that I've taken and saved it on my computer. And the same with this. Point number 2, condition was broken. You can see all the information and the coordinates of this point. There's another point I've taken. This is my line, so I can see information on this line. Here's the length of the line. I can see also the area. It will show me my area, square meters of that area. Now if your square meters, or you don't see square meters, you see hectares, and your meters are in kilometers, you can go and change the units in Pathfinder Office. You click on Options and you click on Units, and this is where you'll change it. So if it is on hectares, you can go and change it here, or I mean the distance is on something else. You change it to meters, the areas, how you want to see area, if you want to see square meters or do you want to see hectares. This is where you can go and change this displays. Okay, under this units. And I'm just going to say okay. So like I said, this is your raw your raw data as it comes from the field, uncorrected. So the next step that we need to do is to do differential correction. So our differential correction work is Pathfinder will automatically download the base files from the TrickNet base stations that it needs to do the correction for you. TrickNet has a lot of permanent base stations all across the country, and it records data for an hour and then it puts it on the server, and then it's available for download. So if you do your data, or if you do your work in the field and you come back and you try and process it immediately, the chances is that you won't find any base data for it. You'll have to wait for at least 2 or 3 hours before you can process your data. So I'm going to try and see if we can process this now, if the data is available, so I can show you the process. If not, we'll have to wait for an hour or so. So what you'll do is you go to Utilities, you go to Differential Correction, just wait for my wizard to open here. Okay, so there's my file. If your file for some reason is not there, you can go and click on this little plus sign, and you can go and select it manually yourself. Okay, I'm just going to cancel that. My file is there. If there's files here that you don't want, you can select them and you can click on this to delete them, or delete them from this list. Okay, so there's your information. It shows you in that file there's 142 positions that you've measured. There's the folder where it comes from. There's the date and the time, when we started, when we stopped it. Okay, all the information. Then you can click on next. Always leave this on automatic, so it will automatically choose carrier and code processing. So it will use both types of processing to process your data, not just the one. So leave it on automatic. You click on next. Now this is your settings. You can change this if you want. I'll just click on change, but by default everything will be set up for you in the correct way. So you always want the output positions to only be corrected. Only needs to output corrected positions only, not uncorrected. Okay, so you leave it on corrected only. And you can leave it on this use smart automatic filtering. If you put it on use your own settings, then you can change the elevation mask and all that sort of stuff. But I recommend also leave it on that. And you can leave this on or off. It's just to correct if you had a real-time device and you want to recorrect it. It will recorrect that data for you. So I'm going to leave it on the settings as it is, and then you click on next. Now in this menu you choose the base that you want to download data from. So you click on the top, this little tick it on for the base provider search, and then you select. So it will always show you the base station. These are all the base stations that's online, except this second one. This is one I've just created myself, so just ignore this one. So it will always show you the base station that's closest to where you have done the work. So it will show me there, TrickNet Durban base station is 14 kilometers away from where I've done the work. Staying here is 48. So you always choose the closest base station to where you are. And then you say OK. So this is all the online TriGnet base stations from the country. You'll see if I go down the list, there's lots of base stations. So the closest one is Durban. I've selected that, and you say OK. Then this tick must be on. Use reference position from base provider, because we're using the base provider, and it will automatically put TriGnet Durban in there. Then by default, Pathfinder, this tick is not on. I'll recommend that you tick this on. I'll show you why. So it will ask you to confirm before it carries on with your post processing after it's downloaded all the base files. So you can check if everything is okay and then confirm. If you don't put this on, even if there's some of the files missing, it will just carry on with the post processing, and then you might lose some of your data without even knowing. So tick this on, go next. So this is just your folders. So I like to use this option. Use the same folder as the input file. So wherever that SSF file is, I want it, because after the correction it creates a different file for you, a COR file, the corrected file, and it saves that corrected file in the same folder. So I have both the raw file and the corrected file in the same folder. And also I like to use this option, create a unique file name based on the input file name. I don't like this use the original file name and overwrite any existing. I don't want it to overwrite any of the files that I've got in my folder. I would rather go and delete it manually myself, just to make sure that I don't lose any data. So this is up to you. I like to use those options. And then you say start, and then it will automatically dial into TriGnet server, and it will go and find the files that it needs, and you'll see it's downloading files here now. So if for some reason it didn't find the file, or it said unable, it will say here unable to download file at the top. So you won't have a file, or depends on how long you work. If you work for 3 or 4 hours, then you'll need about 3 or 4 files that it will go find for you automatically, hourly files. So if your file doesn't download, you can go back and go choose a different base station, choose the next one and try from there. And also make sure that you've given enough time for the base data to be available for you to use. So you can't do the work and immediately do this differential correction, because the file won't be available for you to download. You'll have to wait about 2 or 3 hours to make sure that the files are ready for you. So this is what it will look like. Very important that you have to look at is this coverage. So it means that the data that's downloaded covers all your data 100%. If it says 80% or 70% or anything less than 100%, then you'll see at the top here it probably didn't download all the base files it needs. So then, like I said, you can either go back and choose a different base station and try again. Just make sure you don't go too far away from your base stations. Okay, so we're happy here, 100% total coverage, and then I say confirm. And now it will do my post processing for me, and at the end it will show me my results. So 78% of my 87%, sorry, of my data is between 2 and 5 meters accurate, and 12% is above 5 meters. So this will show you your results, and it will automatically save your corrected file for you. I'm just going to, then you just close this, and then you have to go and open that corrected file of yours. And there we go. There's my corrected file, and there's the raw file. So this is my final product. Open this corrected file, this COR file, and there we go. And there's my points. You'll see the positions changed because it applied the base data, so it's in a more accurate way, this file. So this is my final product, and from here you can go and export. So you have to do differential correction. One, because to apply the base data to get your positions in the most accurate way that it can, and also that Pathfinder Office is set up that it won't export any uncorrected data. So if you open an SSF file, by default you can't export that file into any format. It won't take any or use any of the data because it's all uncorrected data. So you have to do differential correction, and then you can go and export your file.